Okay, folks, welcome back. We are doing a lot of reviews today because I have a rare day off in the middle of the week. And in one of my previous reviews, we were reviewing The Long Voyage Home. And in that review of that John Ford film, I mentioned that I felt like this movie was perhaps inspiration for The Third Man, which came out in 1949. And I haven't seen this movie in about 15 years. So we're going to now dig into The Third Man, directed by Carol Reed. And as you can see by this box, this is a Criterion Collection. So this is a beautifully remastered copy. And it is a Golden Age of DVDs copy, 1999 release, when they had a thick, beefy box and something that new DVDs lack, a scene selection card. And I feel like that is a very disappointing thing. Not only is it a scene selection card, it is a whole booklet. Which, what more would we not expect from the Criterion Collection? You're paying the extra money for a remastered version of the film, right? So, The Third Man. I can remember seeing this movie in my early 20s when I was living at home with my parents, going to college, staying up late, and it was playing on Turner Classic Movies. And that was my foray into this film, right? And it probably was a remastered copy, right? So, again, Carol Reed. This movie has an hour and 33-minute runtime. And this harkens back to a time of movies where, is it family-friendly? Not necessarily, but what I mean by family-friendly is it's clean. There's no nudity, there's no sex, there's no gratuitous violence, there's no profanity. What is this movie rated? Let's take a look. Doesn't even have a rating. So you're going back to a time when you didn't need to push the limits, right? This movie is a masterpiece. It is considered, as of 1999, the greatest British film of all time. Some consider it one of the best films of all time in general. It is considered a film noir espionage spy thriller.
I had no idea this was happening.
You missed out. Now, I mentioned you in my last review. You don't get into the black and white older movies.
No. See, this is why I need to be here to clarify wrong things.
You didn't watch it with me.
I do, but it just takes me a few minutes. And then I totally get into it if it's
She did not watch this movie.
It takes me a while.
You might have been into this. There was a hint of romance, but be that as it may. Then I'm
good for it.
I'm doing a serious review here.
We're leaving.
This movie won Best Cinematography. Where are you going?
You said you're doing a serious review.
This movie won Best Cinematography, an Academy Award. The critic average is 99% on Rotten Tomatoes. The audience average, thousands reporting in, is 93%. IMDb, 8.1 out of 10. It's just, I know you guys are going to voice your opinion in the comments, and I get sensitive, but I understand, right? This era of cinema is not for everybody. And an era of modern Marvel movies where people just want fluff, this movie is beautifully shot, right? So Peter Blagojevich, who recently passed away, rest in peace, this Criterion Collection features an interview by him in the late 80s, early 90s, where he talks about the film and his time spent with Orson Welles. And he said that he felt like the black and white film focuses more on the ability of the actor or actress, right? Because there's no distraction of color. It's just the black and white. But then his cinematographer, per the Wikipedia notes that I saw, it's playing off of a German expressionist and Dutch view. What was his name? Robert Krasker. And again, it won an Academy Award for Best Cinematography. It's the way that they capture smoke and the way the light plays off the smoke. They use light to showcase people. There's this one scene where you finally see the big reveal of Orson Welles' character, and the light from someone turning on their upstairs window flashes onto him in a dark doorway, and it's just like, whoa, it gives you goosebumps, right? So I could remember the film noir vibe of this film. David O. Selznick helped produce this. He wanted this to have a typical sappy golden age of Hollywood happy ending, and director Carol Reed persisted to get a more realistic ending that you would see in real life. No happy ending in this movie, right? He felt that a happy ending, per Wikipedia article, would be artificially happy. The movie was shot on location in post-war Vienna, and we'll talk just a very brief snippet, so you could look up the history yourself online. But basically, after the fall of Nazi Germany in 1945, you see Berlin being divided amongst the Allied powers, and then in this situation, you see Vienna being divided between the English sector, the American sector, and the Russian sector. And the Orson Welles character, he's playing this character of somewhat of a... he was a shady guy, right? But he encourages his friend to come from the States, who's a hard-up author looking to make a quick buck. Come join me in Vienna, and we'll take advantage of this post-war lawless world where we're black market sales type of stuff. And he's shady, though. But there's a love interest involved. I'm not going to get into all the character names because I didn't even write them down. But it's got a lot of layers, right? So the screenplay was written by this guy, Graham Greene. And to get motivation to write the movie, he wrote a full novella that he never intended for anybody to see, but it ended up getting released in 1948. And that helped him kind of set the precedence to write the screenplay for this picture about post-war Europe, post-Nazi Germany and Vienna. And Europe is being divided amongst the West and the East into the communist Russians. So it's a slice of life. It's a slice of history, as it were, but it's masterfully shot. Carol Reed did an amazing job directing, partnering with the cinematographer that he did, which was, like I mentioned, Robert Krasker. Also, there is a fabulous soundtrack featured in this movie by Anton Karas, and it was in the year 1950, the year after this movie came out. It was like the #1 selling albums of the year. And it just tied in. It was like a motivating soundtrack where it just kind of like set the precedent and kind of propelled the film forward, along with great acting. I can't add much more about it. I'm 5 out of 5 on this movie. I wholeheartedly agree with most of the critics. And any audience review in the 90s to me it's a fabulous movie. So Criterion Collection, thank you for doing what you do and remastering these films. I wished I had the Stagecoach version remastered instead of the VHS-based copy that I have, because it really shines through when you see the love. Because even this DVD copy, it showed before and afters of what it looked like before and versus after they cleaned up the prints. It's beautiful. Thanks for watching, folks. I know this is kind of rambling. I've had a couple of 8% IPAs. That's all I want to say about that. Until next time, we'll see you then. Thanks for watching.